Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. The tomato sauce had splattered onto the floorboards. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. It was a blob of chewing gum, probably carried in on somebody's shoe. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. I'd made a convincing bloodstain, but was it art? How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever going to. Inspector!
Yes?
Do you really think this is a cut-and-dried case?
En effet, cut, dried, sealed, and delivered.
Do you know anything about La Maledictio?
It is a painting. It was stolen. Point?
Are you certain you don't want to investigate the alarm?
Unless you can show me new evidence, then please leave me to my work.
So you don't think the CCTV footage is useful?
I prefer a more visceral approach to the crime scene.
So you think Georges is a suspect?
As I said, I am not often wrong about such things, but I have already said too much.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. It would have been stupid to phone Nico from in there. Besides, I really didn't want to attract any attention. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. The frame containing pressed flowers. Henri sure liked his clutter. It was an antiquated CCTV system. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. There I was, looking at the exhibition. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The most striking the killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The most striking... The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane or even Henri himself. There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me fiddling with the alarm. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri sure had his quirks. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. There was a box of thumbtacks on the desk. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. The business card listed the gallery's details. I didn't need a business card. It was a decorative pen, probably a gift to Henri. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket. It was a corroded lighter. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. Henri's lighter was in a bad state. I decided to leave it. It was liquid ink. I had no idea they still sold this stuff. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days. The switch controlled the small desk lamp. There was nothing special about the lamp switch. There was nothing special about the lamp switch. It was an Erasertron. I loved those. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. It was a reel of fragile tape. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. It was a standard drawer. There was a document folder in the drawer. There was nothing else in the drawer. The document folder had a hairy lobsters sticker on it. I had no idea what was inside. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was the security installation note from the company that Henri had used. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. The fig leaf had a small hinge on it. It looked like it could be lifted. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. It was a sturdy-looking safe. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it. I needed a better idea. The street was quiet. A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room. The door led back to the gallery. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. I had no reason to search the desk again. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business, but now I knew where he lived.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I wasn't tampering with anything. I was just looking for clues.
That is my job, Monsieur
Stobart. George Stobart. Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really? So, you have plenty to gain from the robbery.
Well, no. We have plenty to lose from the robbery.
Don't patronize me, monsieur. Only a fool wouldn't know how insurance works.
Yeah. No flies on you, Inspector.
Exactly. I have to get up very early in the morning, which means I can be sure to catch the worm.
So I see.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Georges?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea.